The Oscar movies that are out there, yes, Dune 2 and Wicked, you might have seen, but most of them, Menorah, The Brutalist, Conclave, are movies that most of us have not seen. We've seen them on this panel here because we like to argue about movies, but instead of attacking it, talking about Best Actor, Best Actress, we wanted to break down the biggest movies from 2024. So we took the top 10 live-action films that made the most money last year in the worldwide box office, and we are going to tell you the biggest 3 awards from these movies: Best Actor, Best Actress, and Best Picture. Again, Dune 2 and Wicked are not a part of it. They're already going to get honored when it comes to Sunday.
As they should. As they should.
Definitely.
This show here, though, is going to focus on the movies that got your money but didn't necessarily get the honors that they deserve. It's quite the list. Let's start off with these 10. Deadpool and Wolverine, which who had that in the Fantasy League last year?
Somebody who has a large nose, yeah?
That was me. The second movie on this list is Godzilla and King Kong, New Empire. Who had that movie in the 2024 league?
Somebody who has a large nose.
That's
yeah?
right, that's me. The reason why I won the league. The other 8 movies: Venom, The Last Dance, which not going to get any awards here. Gladiator 2, Beetlejuice, Bad Boys Ride or Die, the 4th installment of Bad Boys.
Who had Bad Boys Ride or Die? Who had
the guy who came in last place. We also had Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Twisters, It Ends With Us, which we are not allowed to talk about because of a lawsuit on all of Hollywood, and then finally Alien Romulus. Those are the 10 movies we're going to be discussing, again, giving out a Best Picture, a Best Actor, and a Best Actress from those movies and comparing them to the actual people that are going to win this award and see who we rather prefer from 2024. Which award you guys want to start out with here?
Let's start with Best Actor, huh?
Best Actor.
Sure.
Best Actor. So from those 10 movies, let's throw some names out there. Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman from Deadpool and Wolverine, Kellerman?
Ooh, I don't know about Ryan Reynolds, but Hugh Jackman, always a contender as far as I'm concerned for an Oscar.
I thought he was genuinely great in this movie.
Yeah.
And it was more than just like the comic book things bopping around. Like especially that scene where they're in the van together and they have the argument and he really calls out Deadpool for what he is. Hugh Jackman's an amazing actor.
Hugh Jackman's always an amazing actor, but this was maybe my least favorite performance of him as Wolverine.
Oh, come
he was
on.
good.
Really?
He's always good. He's
Well,
always
hold on a
baseline good. He's Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
But you're
Did you
telling
see
me
X-Men 3?
I sure did.
And you thought his performance was better?
That was the Brian... No, that was...
I did.
That was the
The
Brett
amount-
Ratner one.
Oh, my God.
How many times did he do the Wolverine stance in this movie? 46? Like,
Yeah,
it is
fair.
the most overdrawn, overdone film, and it's not his fault.
I don't think that
He's
has
fine.
anything to do with his performance.
I think he's perfectly fine.
Performance
I
is
don't
for
think
what
he does
he's-
anything wrong. I don't think he does anything great. I think he's Hugh Jackman, who I'll always love, but like, this is not his year for me.
So who are you looking at to get the best actor out of these 10 films?
Who am I looking at to get the best actor out of these 10 films? Great question, Tony.
Clearly something he's thought about before.
It sure is. Glenn Powell, folks.
Oh, come on.
Glenn Powell in Twisters. The only reason...
Glenn Powell and Twisters?
Glenn Powell in Twisters. The only reason that movie is Glenn palatable, yet again,
He's
is
not wrong.
Glenn Powell. Daisy Edgar-Jones, who I love
Yeah.
so much,
Yeah.
doesn't do much on that screen. It's not Anthony Ramos's best film. The film itself is like the most cookie-cutter, boring version of a thriller.
It's a very formulaic
action
thriller.
movie.
I
yeah.
like Glenn Powell, but I thought that was commercial level acting at best. In
Wow.
fact, the whole movie kind of feels like a
What
commercial.
would you call Hugh
which might have
Jackman
to
in
do with
Deadpool and Wolverine? Oscar-worthy?
Well,
I don't think so.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
I do want to say, out of the short list that I had, the 2 names that I had written down in my mind was Hugh Jackman as Wolverine and Glenn Powell as
Are you
Twisters.
kidding?
So,
No, genuinely, I thought Glenn Powell was like the only reason
he would
that
be
film
my...
was
So
watchable.
I want to say...
Michael Keaton reprising his role as Beetlejuice is one of the greatest performances of last year. There, I said it.
He was very strong.
There, I said it.
He was very strong. I'll give you that. I will also add Paul Mescal to an honorable mention in Gladiator 2.
You will? That
I
movie,
will.
he was not good in that
He
movie.
was very good in that movie.
I did
Wow,
not...
all the actors in Gladiator 2, and he's the one you chose?
He's
I
the
did
lead
not-
actor.
I did not like any of the actors in Gladiator 2. Spoiler alert for Best Actress as well. I thought none of
Oh,
that was
come
good
on.
acting-wise.
Denzel is fantastic.
I wouldn't call that fantastic.
What about Will Smith and Martin Lawrence from Bad Boys 4?
Let's get back to Gladiator.
Back to Beetlejuice, yeah. No, seriously, go more in on Michael Keaton because I think you're the only one that's going to make a stand here.
Michael Keaton steps back into a role he hasn't played in 20 years and doesn't miss a beat. Mm-hmm. I find that a truly incredible feat.
How long is he on screen for this time?
I didn't count the minutes.
Well, because it was 17 minutes in the original Beetlejuice, I remember.
How
was
long?
definitely
How
more this
long
time
was
around.
Anthony Hopkins on screen in Silence of the
Fair
Lambs?
enough.
A total
Fair
of 12
Got him.
minutes.
Fair point. Fair point. Well, we got to make a decision here, folks. Are there any other names we want to throw out there? Or are we deciding between Glenn Powell, Hugh Jackman, and your boy Keaton?
Definitely those. I mean, Paul Mescal deserves to be in this conversation, but if you guys don't believe so, then we'll talk about those three.
If you had to pick between those three names, who is it?
You know, Kellerman?
No.
It's a strong argument. And it is a performance.
100%.
You know what I mean? Hugh Jackman, we've seen him do Wolverine, and his magnum opus as Wolverine was Logan. You know what I mean? So I think after 20 years, like you said, not missing a
man.
beat, the movie, not great. The performance...
It's not winning Best Picture.
No, not for me. But the
But
performance, Keaton is still Beetlejuice.
17 minutes again. And Beetlejuice 2. Same as 1.
Really?
Wow.
Incredible.
So
17 minutes.
Feels like so
17
much
minutes,
more.
yes.
Feels like so much more.
So the first ever, you agree with that, Keaton?
I mean, if I was just throwing it out there before, but now after hearing Cheese,
Well, look,
Yeah.
Glenn Powell's being charming. He's
certainly
being cute.
over
he's,
Glenn Powell.
Yeah, he's being charming. He's being cute. He's being funny. Hugh Jackman is doing Hugh Jackman his best job at Wolverine, but it's not his best Wolverine performance, so I'm not going to give it to him.
I don't agree with that, but I am still going to vote for
Fine.
Michael Keaton
So-
over Hugh Jackman.
The first ever Boscar in Boscar's history, the box office Oscars, we have fallen into the same exact effing trap that the Academy Awards has fallen into and have now given a Lifetime Achievement Award to Michael Keaton for Best Actor. Congratulations, Michael, for Beetlejuice. I'm already sad about the state of this show, but we are moving forward.
Of those three, who would you have voted
who would
for?
you?
I
Were
think
you
it's-
really going to put Glenn Powell over?
I think it's Hugh Jackman, but we gave it out. I am outvoted. We gave it out to Michael Keaton. Congratulations. Can't wait to hear your
Love you,
acceptance speech.
Keaton. Love ya.
When it comes to the actual Oscars, however, Keaton was not nominated, but the winner right now, or I should say the winner is supposed to be Adrian Brody for his work in The Brutalist. He is right now the minus 210 favorite, which means he's a 2-1 favorite to win this award. The only other person who has been winning awards has been Timothy Chalamet for his work as Bob Dylan. Is there any one of those two that you would choose over the great Michael Keaton's Beetlejuice performance?
Look, Chalamet's just trying to be one of the greats, guys. It's okay.
I think he's doing it.
I think he's doing it
Truly.
too. I think Chalamet.
And I would give Chalamet the Oscar over Michael Keaton or.
To be fair, I would give anybody nominated for Best Actor over Keaton. I think
Okay.
Coleman Domingo, Timothy Chalamet, and Adrian Brody are the top three. And Brody certainly deserves the Oscar in this. I think it's Brody's to lose.
Well, congratulations, Michael. We just gave you an award and took it away in less than 3 minutes. Let's move on to Best Actress.
Wait, who wins? Chalamet or you got to break the tie?
I think it's Adrian Brody. But either way, let's move
Can you
on.
put a wet fart sound over this?
Let's move on.
As the editor of this podcast, no.
Let's move on to Best Actress. Back to those top 10 box office movies. And I'm not going to lie, guys, I had a really hard time coming up with a Best Actress for this list. So I'm interested to hear what you two have to say.
Because we're not chauvinists.
Because there's not a lot of actresses in these movies.
Named in the movies that you named already?
Yeah, in the top 10 box. I mean, Deadpool and Wolverine is about Deadpool and Wolverine. Godzilla and Kong. That movie stinks.
Emma Corrin is very, very good in Deadpool and Wolverine.
She was good.
She does a stellar job of she's a worthy adversary of Hugh Jackman, and that is not an easy feat. The scene when she, puts his hands through
Some creepy
her hands
stuff.
through his
Yeah,
head
yeah.
is
Some
pretty
creepy
sweet
stuff.
and deserving of an award as far as I'm concerned, based on this horrendous list.
Yeah, Kellerman, what Beetlejuice actor do you want to nominate?
It did cross my mind to say Winona Ryder, but Haley Spaney from Alien Romulus.
Yeah.
I thought that she really held that together and reminded me so much of the original Ripley without being the original Ripley. I just thought she did a stellar job of holding that film together.
Well, when I went through my list, Kellerman, I was trying to go through all these movies. I wasn't going to give it to Blake Lively because, again, we're legally not allowed to. But I got to Alien Romulus, and that was my pick. I thought she was phenomenal in that movie. I will be talking about Alien Romulus in a second, spoiler alert, but I thought genuinely she was phenomenal in that movie. Are you okay giving it to her over anybody else?
You know what? Blake Lively held her own, and it ends with us, guys. She really did, despite the allegations to and against. But it's Emma Corrin or Kaylee Spaney. and I think I will go with you guys. I will kowtow.
So, Kaylee Spaney, congratulations. You are the first ever winner, Best Actress of the Box Office Oscars. Now, Best Actress at the real Oscars is a big deal. It is the closest race out of any of them. The odds have just shifted to put Demi Moore from The Substance as a minus 240 leader in the clubhouse. But for a long time, Mikey Madison was right there with her. Right now, Mikey Madison, the lead actor in Honora, is plus 185. You loved Honora and Mikey Madison. Are you willing to put the Alien Romulus lead actor, Kaylee Spaney, up against those two?
I mean, she does a great job, and maybe if Alien Romulus wasn't, a horror thriller, she might have been considered. She was stellar, but I don't think so. I mean,
so who wins for you, Demi Moore or Mikey?
For me, who is going to win is Demi Moore. Who I want to win is Mikey Madison. I thought she was absolutely fantastic, like beautiful, sincere, honest performance, really, really dangerous performance.
Yeah.
And really sad in the end. Such a beautiful portrayal of that character. It's like Pretty Woman on steroids. She absolutely nails it. But Demi Moore's going to win that role. So no, Kaylee Spaney's doesn't hold a candle to them too, unfortunately.
What about you?
I loved Honora. I loved the performance in Honora. But I would actually put Kaylee Spaney over that performance just because I think it's a much harder job to play scared for 2 hours, of screen time.
And a lot of it is just her. A lot of that movie is just her.
Yes.
They don't get a lot of love for that. I mean, in any horror movie,
Yeah.
fear is very hard to portray,
To keep up
honestly.
intensity, take after take after take after take for a full movie is a very difficult task. So I would put her over that. That said, I think that Demi Moore's performance in The Substance was a tour de force. I thought that she was absolutely incredible, and I hadn't seen her in anything in a while.
Yeah.
I don't think that it's because she hasn't been in anything. I just hadn't seen much of her in a while, and I was like blown away.
Yeah. And she went full length in that movie, giving it her all and showing it all. Like, it was a big step for her. She was,
and played such a spectrum of emotions that I hadn't seen her play before.
Yeah. I agree. I think Demi Moore should and will win the award. Also, the only thing I'll add is Cynthia Erivo is awesome in Wicked and deserves some respect. And Ariana Grande is the best performance I've seen all year, but obviously not nominated for Best Actress. Let's move to the big one. It is time to name the best picture out of those 10 movies. I'll read them off again for you. Deadpool and Wolverine, Godzilla and Kong, Venom, The Last Dance, Gladiator 2, Beetlejuice, Bad Boys Ride or Die, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Twisters, It Ends With Us, Redacted, and Alien Romulus. Which one of those 10 movies, Alexander Joshua Alche, is the best picture?
Oh, baby. It's not Bad Boys Ride or Die.
It is not.
I'm going to say Alien Romulus.
Thank you.
I am going to say Alien Romulus.
I thought I was going to have to make a stand here. I was holding this in for a while. Alien Romulus was my favorite movie that I've seen last year out of all the movies that I've seen, because it went back, like you said, to the true nature of Alien. Alien is a horror movie, and the fact that this thing went back into its horror ways, and the fact that we had the practical effects, the actual beings in there. They hired that former viral basketball player to dress up as the final monster. It looked so good and felt so real because of that. Sure, they had the random scene where everything's anti-gravity and they're shooting in the acid. Not my favorite part of the film, but overall, this got back to the real sense of Alien, and I was so happy with what I saw. Alien Romulus, to me, I'm so happy you chose that. I don't have to fight for it.
No,
it's my best
I completely
picture.
agree. I think it was the practical, everything from the marketing campaign to the film itself, and the performances was top notch. I thought they really, really did a great job of going back to the original form. And yeah, I'm with you. Alien Romulus, baby.
Do you want to go against any of that? You want to bring any other contenders up?
Wolverine and Deadpool was a better movie.
Is it a better movie because of how many cameos are in it, or is it a better movie because it's a better movie?
Both.
The best part of Deadpool and Wolverine was the opening sequence, and then it just went whoosh.
I really like
You thought
Deadpool
the best
and Wolverine.
part of Wolverine and Deadpool was the in-sync dance sequence?
I really like
Definitely.
Deadpool and Wolverine. I don't think it... when we're talking about harder job, Kellerman, Alien Romulus had a much harder job to do and achieved a higher potential.
Certainly bigger shoes to fill. Deadpool and Wolverine.
I don't think it missed. I think it took a lot of... I think it
well,
had a
but-
very
but-
easy at-bat, but it hit a home run with it nonetheless.
But I don't think it had an easy at bat. That's exactly the point I was about to make, because it had to not just combine a whole history of a different studio's catalog of movies
Yeah.
and bring it into the MCU, but it also had to it is one of the most meta movies maybe to have ever been made because it is about the characters bringing themselves to a different movie studio.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah.
why it didn't work.
I thought it worked. I'm with Kellerman. I was along for the ride for the whole entire thing. But to me, I am going like. I don't think I'll ever really watch Deadpool and Wolverine again unless I'm in like a party setting and we're all getting together to watch that movie. I will watch Alien Romulus again. Like I will watch that alone when I'm
fair.
watching them, like enjoying a night at the movies because it's that special of a movie.
I completely agree. Deadpool and Wolverine, I fell asleep twice. I was bored. I watched it again.
This guy loved The Brutalist. I'm just going to say he was bored with Deadpool and Wolverine. Loved The Brutalist.
Speaking of, I'm so sorry, Kellerman, but congratulations due to me and Alche. Alien
fine.
Romulus is the winner of Best Picture for the first ever box office Oscars. But speaking of The Brutalist, let's put it up against the real contenders that are up for this award, including such movies as The Brutalist, Conclave, and the leader in the clubhouse right now is Honora at -188, almost a 2-to-1 favorite to take home Best Picture, which is flat out astonishing to me, but that's okay. I know you love Honora. Putting up Alien Romulus to Honora, should Alien Romulus even be in the same breath as Conclave, Brutalist, and the rest of these movies?
I mean, again, it's the age-old argument of can a horror movie be considered to be a great film worthy of Best Picture? And while this movie was very, very good and very, very fun, and I would certainly watch it again, I'll be honest, Kellerman, I'm probably not watching The Brutalist again, but I would watch Honora. I think Honora is a perfect film, nearly perfect film.
Wow.
It is beautiful and sexy and real and uncomfortable and hilarious. It's one of the funniest movies of the year, and
a very
no one was
funny
talking
movie.
about
It's
that.
a very funny movie.
Absolutely hilarious. There are 3 other actors in that movie besides the ones who are nominated who should have been nominated for Best Supporting Actor. They're phenomenal actors in that film.
They're very good.
But Alien Romulus wouldn't fall in the category for me of a horror movie worthy of a Best Picture nomination. So no, I would say it's Honora or The Brutalist. And for me, it's a coin flip. The Brutalist is a cinematic feat. It is absolutely stunning filmmaking, and it's an incredible immigrant story. It's a beautiful immigrant story. And Adrian Brody acts the living crap out of it. My one gripe with The Brutalist...
He's helped a little bit.
My one gripe with The Brutalist is that Felicity Jones isn't Jewish, and that is absolutely vital to the film, but I'm not going to knock it for that. Alien Romulus would not go against these.
In my opinion, it's one of the worst Oscar years in recent memory, and nothing against these films, just none of them are going to stand the test of time. We're not going to be talking about these films in the future. My favorite movie of those 10, however, was Wicked. I thought it was the best picture of the year. I think Alien Romulus, I would give it over the rest of those 10. I really would. That's how much I loved it. But do you have anything?
Wait. You think that the Best Picture award goes definitely to either The Brutalist or Honora?
Yeah, is it even a debate? They're 2 of the best movies of the year by far. Either one of them could win. I would vote for Honora, but if The Brutalist won, I would be very pleased. It's a beautiful film and it's an incredible filmmaking achievement. Absolutely.
I bet The Substance beats both of them.
What?
At Best Picture?
Yeah,
At Best Picture.
I do.
You think some top rope The Substance is happening?
Correct.
Hold on. This sounds like a bet. What are we putting on this?
I'll buy you a ticket to Mickey 17.
I love free money.
You know what? I'm gonna even this out for you. Honora and The Brutalist, he has the field. Whoever gets it right and wins Best Picture gets their ticket purchased by the other one from Mickey 17. You agree to that?
In the bag.
Cannot wait to see Mickey 17.